So I'll recite bit by bit and please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya.
Namaste Jasa Tejase.
Namaste Jasa Tejase.
Avir Avir Bhava.
Avir Avir Bhava.
Vajranaka Vajradamshtra.
Vajranaka Vajradamshra.
Karmashayan Randhaya Randhaya.
Karmashaya Randhaya Randhaya.
Tamo Grasa Grasa.
Namo Grasa Grasa.
Om Swaha.
Om Swaha.
Abhayam Abhayam.
Abhayam Abhayam.
Atmani Bhuyishtha.
Atmani Bhuyishtha.
Om Sham.
Om Sham.
So this is a beautiful prayer to Lord Narasimha. Let's begin our discussion with this beautiful prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. I pay my respectful obeisances unto Lord Narasimha. Namaste Tejasa Tejase, one who is so effulgent, the carrier of all power and all strength and all beauty and all effulgence and all, just like we were doing this Abhishek and we were so amazed by the deity itself is so mesmerizing. And what did you say? Yoga Bhoga Narasimha, Kanaka Narasimha, and who was it? Lakshmi Narasimha. Okay, so just see, Lord Narasimha appears in many, many, many forms, not just as we see in the painting of Lord Narasimha. Usually it's a simple painting, but right there. So in this painting, but Narasimha appears. We worship him before he appeared, after he appeared, with Lakshmi, in yoga, in all different beautiful forms. So Namaste Tejas say, Avir Avir Bhava, please become manifest to me. Vajra Nakha Vajra Damshri, he who has extremely sharp nails and sharp teeth, just like the thunderbolt Vajra. And then he says, with those teeth and nails, what I request from you, Narasimha Dev, is Karma Shayam, which means I'm too much attached, too many desires, too many wishes and wants in this world, which sometimes I even know are not good, but it is not difficult to give up. Right? We have three types of material desires. One, we have kind of already given up. Maybe what we did in our teenage, or it's like now it's over. We can proudly speak about it. Oh, that I don't do anymore. Okay. And then there is third category. Second is the dangerous one. Third is which we won't do usually. It's too far. It's like a matter level, it's too much. So we can be proud of that also. Like if some friend of yours may tell you, oh, I take very harmful substances, and you may feel, I don't do all this. So maybe that's third category. But the troublesome thing which he's referring to is desires which we know are not good for us, but it's so difficult to give up. Is it, can you relate to this? Raise your hand if you feel, there are some things I know which correct sits. So this is the prayer that please, Karmashayam Bandhaya, please with these nails and teeth, O Narasimha Dev, remove these desires. Tamo Grasa Grasa. And please drive away the tamogun, especially the tamogun in this age, which is so easy. Tamogun is laziness, distraction, postponing things, not doing things, and just dullness and spiritual life. All this is tamogun, which is also very difficult to give up actually. Right? Because our modern lives beat us so much. Right? We have to work hard, we have to travel, we have so many anxieties, we have to be associating with people whom don't have the best intentions. So it's a very toxic environment all the time. So it's very natural to slip into tamoguna. It's difficult to keep up our sattva. It's difficult to maintain a sattvic. So tamo grasa grasa, om swaha, abhyam abhyam. Of course, that's the most obvious prayer to Lord Narasimha Dev is, please grant me fearlessness. Abhyam abhyam, atmani bhuyishtha. And please become manifest in my Atmani Bhuisha Om Shrom, and Shrom is the Bija mantra for Narasimha. So it ends like that, this beautiful prayer. Okay. So for today's discussion, I was thinking of going through the beautiful story of Lord Narasimha, which we all, of course, know very nicely. But the beauty of Krishna's pastimes is, no matter how many times we hear it, it still seems very attractive and very fresh, and newer things we will learn. And that is not just because, it's not just that it is a very interesting story, but it is because it is a spiritual story. It is a spiritual sound vibration, therefore it really resonates in our hearts. Just like the Hare Krishna mantra, that's the only mantra we sing, day in and day out, every day, 365 days, but still we don't get bored. We don't request, today some other mantra, we try a little bit. No, it doesn't, we are as enthusiastic and as happy. And Prabhupada said, why? Prabhupada said, okay, can you say water 50 times? You say you won't be able to say it anymore. But Hare Krishna mantra you can go on saying forever. Why? Because it is spiritual sound vibration. So same way, Narasimha Dev's pastimes and all the pastimes are so interesting. Do you know who would hear the pastime of Lord Narasimha Dev many times? Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would request Mukunda, tell me a story. And every day Mukunda would tell the same story. Prahlad Maharaj, Chaitanya would say, yes, tell me the story. He would say it as though he's never heard it before. Mukunda would say the whole pastime for 1 hour, 1.5 hours. And when the story would end, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would say, tell me the story of Prahlad Maharaj again. As though he is, and again, like that 100 times he would hear the same pastime. So with that enthusiasm, let us also go through this wonderful pastime. And in the Bhagavatam, this is one of the longest stories in the Bhagavatam. Almost the entire 7th canto is just the story of Prahlad Narasimha. So it's very interesting. And of course, since Narasimha Dev is a great protector, I'll share a little protection story. When we were doing the Ugram Veeram chant, so I know one person, she has a friend who needed a kidney replacement and a very critical condition. So when you reach that stage in your life, when you need kidney replacement, if you don't find, you're dead. It's like the end. So she started this Ugram Veeram chanting 108. She said, I'll do it for 40 days. And for this person to find a donor and continue his devotional life, continue his service. And so she chanted, and 40 days passed. In the morning she finished, on the 40th morning she finished, and no news. Because if you know, in any country in this world, kidney you cannot buy, because it is illegal and there are many malpractices. So kidney, only someone donates, you're lucky you can find. So usually people ask relatives, ask friends, and this person had already asked everybody. You were searching for many years actually, but nobody, because blood group has to match, there are many things. On the 40th morning, this girl finished her thing, and there was nothing, so she thought, was my prayer not heard? That evening, she had gone to a massage parlor, and this massage girl, she's been friends with for many years. She was with the same person, the girl was massaging her, and she was just telling sadly, my friend, he's looking for a kidney, and I was thinking, this girl replied, actually, my fiance, let's try him, maybe that will be a good match. And this man is Indian, and this fiance is African American, also not a very, and that evening itself, and how it happened also so fast, so she called him. He usually lives outside the US, but that day he was visiting. By evening he came, and this man told him, okay, let's, do you want to do it? He was somehow very enthusiastic. Imagine, it's almost an unknown person. But this African American donor is very compassionate, and in Africa he does a lot of service and all that. So he thought, if I can help somebody, my life will be he's very he's a Christian, very God conscious person. So he went in the night itself, they went to the hospital, And the hospital said this is the first person who's matching your blood. If he's ready to give, we can go in the donation. On the 40th day of finishing this prayer, something which hadn't happened for 3 years. Of course, we're also today going to discuss one very important point. What is the meaning of protection? That is a very critical point. So in this story now, it sounds fascinating. Oh, that means whatever I pray to Narasimha, he will give me and he will protect me. Okay, so is this statement true or false?
False.
False. So what we pray he will not give?
What we will pray, he may get, but whatever we pray, he may not get.
Okay. So you're saying he may or may not give?
It depends on what we are praying for.
Depends on what you are praying for. Okay, very interesting. Okay, let's see. Hopefully in today's discussion, this point should come up, and the hope is that we understand that what protection we can expect and what is the protection that Narasimha and Krishna is really offering. In terms of capability, is Krishna not capable of giving us whatever we want? Or is Narasimha not capable? Are they capable?
Yes.
100%, whatever, 100%. But still, Krishna may or may not give, as he rightly said, that's true. So let's see why, and then we will be happy to know what we can expect from Krishna and how he helps us, and we'll see that through the story of Prahlad. Okay. So Prahlad's story begins with, sorry, I'm just wanting to ask, so I'm supposed to end at 5 p.m., correct? 5 p.m. I'm supposed to end at 5.
What time?
Yes, the class goes till 5. Yes.
Okay.
5:10, 5:15.
Yeah.
With questions.
Okay, so 5:15 with questions. Okay. Just making note of the time. So the story starts way behind. Do you know where the original story actually starts? The Narasimha pastime, where does it, if you go all the way back, you trace it. Where would it? Yes, correct. Way back. So but we won't start that much behind, otherwise. Let's go right up to the point where Hiranyaksh, who is Hiranyaksh? Brother, the younger brother of Hiranyaksh. And Hiranyaksh, who dealt with Hiranyaksh? Varaha. Just imagine these two brothers were so great. 2 avatars had to come just to take care of them. Not ordinary. So Varaha came, took care of Hiranyaksh, but that made Hiranyakashipu very upset. And he was really frustrated. You know, like when you don't like somebody and uska hi promotion ho jaye, even more, you know, it's like, so Hiranyakashipu felt that he already hated Vishnu. Abhi usne aake mere chote bhai ko mara. It's like even more, he became so angry. And actually at that point, he decides to go for austerity. Till then he was a big demon, but not like a full-on demon. He was still like within, but now he got so angry and so revengeful. And revenge is a great emotion, right? It's a very severe emotion. It can really make you crazy. So Hiranyakashipu was driven by revenge and anger and envy and everything. And so he goes and he does some very extreme kind of tapasya. What kind of tapasya does he do? Do you know what did he do? Yes, he worshipped Brahmadev, correct. And what was the tapasya? Yes, he stands on. Okay, he stands on a leg, and then what does he do?
He sacrifices everything. Food, water.
Yes, correct. Everything is done. He's standing on one leg, and both his hands are up. It doesn't sound like too much. How many of you think you can last for 5 minutes in that position? I know that Prabhu is already starting. Put timer for 30 minutes, 1 hour. Oh, he's yoga expert. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3. Any challengers for 3 hours? 5 hours. I mean, no question. What do you think about it? So it's very simple what he did. But the trick is even something simple to do for a long time, that is a really difficult thing. which is why we respect devotees who, in Vaishnava etiquette, one who is practicing for more years, we consider them a senior and we give them more respect. Just for the reason that to do anything in this world for a long time, it really takes a lot. To do it 2 days, 10 days, 5 days also no, right? We all take 2 days vows, we take 3 days, we do, and we think first now I'm going to, and next Monday everything is finished. But Hiranyakashipu stood there for 100 celestial years. Extreme tapasya. It was extreme because it was just his willpower. And then ants build an anthill around his body and eat him up completely. But he somehow keeps his life within his bones. Nothing is left, just by his willpower, just by his determination. So it's an extreme tapasya. And by doing that, the entire, because of that power, the entire universe starts becoming hot. And all the demigods and everybody gets, and also there is so much evil intention in him. All the people he's against, especially the demigods, they start feeling they get very restless. They start becoming, they can feel that something is really going wrong. And so they start slowly as the years go by and this person's tapasya builds up, his head starts emanating so much fire and heat, and his toes, because they're starting to push, they start imbalancing the earth, and so many horrible things happen because his intention is so bad, it's such an evil intention. And after a long time, finally the demigods go to Brahma and they tell him you have to do something about this. And they even tell him his intention is to take your position. And his intention is, to finish all of us, take over the entire earth. And they tell him his specific plan is he wants to reverse the laws of nature. And the laws of the material world are, if you do something good, you will get good result. If you do something bad, you will get bad result. But Hiranyakashipu wanted that I will do something bad and I will get good result. That would be so nice, right? For us also. Okay, then life will be so easy. Whatever you want and you get good result. The problem is doing good is a bit difficult. So that was Hiranyakashipu's plan. And he goes up and then he does his tapasya and then Brahmadev appears. And do you know what all boons did he ask from Brahmadev? Let's see.
I have not
Okay, so let's
die
see.
in the day or the night.
Okay, so I will not die in the day or the night.
Are we not killed by animals or humans?
Not animals nor humans.
No
No weapons.
Inside, outside.
Inside, outside.
Day and night.
Day and night.
Not with the Shastra and Astra.
And correct, not Shastra, not Astra, no weapons. Any other?
No demigod.
Yes, no demigod, no
Asuras,
no
Yaksha.
Asura, no Yaksha. Any other? Let's
No
see.
created by Brahma.
No being created by Lord Brahma. Okay. No? Yeah, no nuclear, no kind of spice. Yes. And so what was the reason he was doing this kind of trying to, it was almost like, lawyers when they write the law, the big thing you have to read through the end user agreement. And you are used to this kind of finding the loophole and the client didn't know that there's one line. So they were doing, why did he make such a big agreement? What was his main intention? Yes, because first he said, make me immortal. Brahma said,
No.
why?
Because even he is not.
Yes, he said, I am not, how will make you? So Hiranyakashipu thought, no problem, I am smarter than that. He thought, I'll say something which is as good as immortal. And this seems really nice, right? Let's see what he asks. Oh my Lord, give me the desire that let me not meet death from any living entities created by you. Then, grant me I do not die within any residence or outside the residence. Oh, that we forgot. Not inside nor outside. Oh,
We said.
yeah. Not during the daytime or at night. Not in the ground or in the sky. We missed that, right? Grant me that my death not be brought by any being other than those created by you, nor by any weapon, nor by any human being or animal. And then he goes on to make it a little more specific. Grant me that I don't meet my death from any entity, living or non-living. He knew Kalyu AI robots may come. Non-living. Grant me I don't be killed by demigod or demon or a great snake from the lower planets. Grant me that I may have no rival, no competitor. Give me sole lordship over all living entities and presiding deities. Give me all the glories obtained by that position. Give me all the mystic powers attained by long austerities and the practice of yoga, that these cannot be lost at any time. So he wanted all this. He really made good use of his time with Brahma. Usually other demons ask one and they leave him. He said, Brahma is here, now let me cover the whole thing. So he did this. However, it's very interesting that everything that Hiranyakashipu asked still could not protect him. Right? He thought he has covered everything is there's no, still it could not protect him. And this is one very important thing which we have to know, that Krishna himself is saying Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Birth, old age, disease and death are the laws of the material world. So do you think it's always wise to ask protection from Krishna, which he's already said this is the law of the world? Old age, disease and death is going to come. There is nobody who can really escape from that. That is the law of the world. Krishna is not going to change the law of the material world. Right? So that in that context, if we know that old age, disease and death is a material, it's a given, it cannot be changed. Yet, do you think then sometimes, then why is it when Prabhupada was not unwell in 1968, he told all his disciples, pray to Narasimha Dev that I should remain silent. Why did he do that? Or why did he tell us, all of you chant Narasimha Dev prayers every morning for protection, right?
Like you can also worship the Lord and spread the glories of God.
Okay, so you're saying, so what kind of protection are we asking for?
Any obstacles from spiritual path that we know.
Okay, so one is from our spiritual path, we are definitely allowed to ask for protection 100%. That is clear. If anything in our spiritual life is harming or obstacle or something, we should ask and we should pray for. What about material things?
We can ask if it is helping your spiritual.
Okay, that's a very good point. Yes, that's true. We can ask if it is helping our spiritual life. And how will we know if it is helping our spiritual life or not?
By using that, are we using the Krishna service
Okay.
or us?
Okay, very nice. That's a very good criteria that whatever I'm asking for, once I get that, will I really use it for Krishna's service? Or is there a hidden agenda in my mind? Is there a hidden, like, maybe I'm asking for a better pay and a better job. But is that really the intention? And it is not wrong also to have a double intention sometimes. Because when we say, no, you should only be pure devotee. So Krishna in the Gita also gives us many levels. Some people can execute on pure devotional service, and their only real intention is pure devotional service. What is a little below that called?
Combine.
Karma yoga.
Yes. So Krishna speaks a lot about karma yoga, understanding that for us, especially the Bhagavad Gita is targeted towards all of us who are not pure devotees yet we are not absolute non-devotees, correct? We all agree, goal of life is Krishna praying. We have to go back to Lord. Correct? We don't have a doubt about that. But what we struggle with is, how do I do have material desires, and I feel I can't just suddenly let go of everything. and I can't say just no to everything. So the whole Karma Yoga part of the Bhagavad Gita is to teach us, okay, you have material desires, fine. Just dovetail it towards Krishna. How do I use that? How do I allow that, engage that in Krishna's service, and then slowly, gradually that will get purified. And one day I'll get the satisfaction of both. I will get the satisfaction of, my material desire getting fulfilled or maybe not getting fulfilled, but it will get purified either way. Either it will get fulfilled and then get purified through the satisfaction or the I've been there, done that, okay, I'm done now, I don't want it anymore. Or we'll not get it, struggle, and the purification will come with the realization that actually I don't need this. And then we transcend it. Right? So even that is fair. I mean, that is, Krishna doesn't mind. But at least he says, Nishkam Karma Yoga, or he says, if not even Nishkam, then, yes, someone is saying the word. Yes, Sakam Karma Yoga, where, okay, I'm attached to what I'm going to get materially, but at least Karma Yoga means I'm going to do something related to Krishna with that. And that also Krishna says is okay, is acceptable. And in that case also, we are allowed, in fact not allowed is a very, not a good word actually. We should approach Krishna for protection. We should approach, in fact there are shlokas in the, even in Narasimha when he speaks back to Prahlad, he says, I'm so happy that you approached me. Just like a parent will be more than happy if the child asks for help. Will the parent ever tell the child, hey, are you asking me? The parent will be more than happy. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. In fact, the parent will feel finally that the role I want to play, that's what I'm here for, to help, to sort out something, to do something. So we should, it's actually one of the spiritual processes which Prabhupada mentions is bandhanam, is to pray. Atmane is to take shelter. So absolutely we should absolutely go to Krishna with our problems and our difficulties and pray to him, keeping in mind that Krishna, right, and presenting ourselves very honestly to Krishna. Look, I know of course this is even when, and we can really speak to Krishna like we speak to a person. Just like you speak to your friends, a very close friend. That is Sakhyam which is mentioned. That is the friendship we have towards Krishna. To really reveal our heart. To really pray, Krishna, maybe this is wrong for me, but I really want this. I feel this will help me. If you think this is best for me, please fulfill it. And if you don't fulfill it, then give me the intelligence, give me the strength to accept that it is not. So we can pray both ways to Krishna. Krishna, either you fulfill it and help me and do this, or if you don't, then give me the strength and the courage and the understanding of why this is not good for me, then I can transcend it. But Krishna, this is bothering me in my life. This is stopping me from going ahead both spiritually and materially. Krishna doesn't want us to suffer materially. Krishna is not a mean God. Krishna is not someone who wants us to come to him because we are materially unsuccessful. So, Krishna is not like that kind of person. Okay, I will cut off everything, then this fellow will come to me. It's not like that. Krishna is the most, he wants to see us happy. He just wants to see us prosper and happy in everything. Materially, spiritually of course, and materially. Because we see the whole pastime of Krishna, whoever he went to, he blessed them spiritually, of course, by his personal love and everything, and materially you would read. It gave everyone a particular blessing. Right? So we have every right, and that's the role Narasimha Deva is playing. And so Hiranyakashipu, no matter how much material security he tried, he was not successful. Still there was a flaw in his plan, and then everything fell apart. Okay, I have a question here for you. What kind of, this is an important question, what kind of security do you rely on in your life, and can it really protect you? What types of securities we make in our life, and we should? What type of securities we make?
Financial security.
Money.
Food insecurity.
Okay, or financial security, let's say, right? We all make our plans. So, if financial security can't, So can financial security protect us from everything?
No.
No.
So then should we not do financial security? Should we not make financial plans? Should we not be?
We should.
But then you said it doesn't protect us, so what's the
Need more combination.
combination of what?
Financial health.
Financially, health related events. Protection from disease, protection from.
Correct. No. So okay. Let's just say financial. Okay, let's say insurance. We all have insurance. We all have health insurance. Will health insurance protect us from disease?
No.
No.
Then why make health insurance?
The quality of food which you are intaking in your
Okay.
body makes
Cover
difference.
the
Correct. Now I'm just saying health. Just think of health insurance. The point we're trying to discuss is we all make securities in our life, and we should. But if the securities can't really protect us, can they really protect us?
No.
Then why should we make those securities? Then should we not just sit in front of Narasimha and say, I don't have any health insurance, I don't have any financial planning, I don't have Narasimha, you take care of me. Do you think Narasimha will do that?
Yes. He will.
No?
He will?
You need to.
How many of you say he will? If
You need to have that dependence.
But
You have to that level,
Surrender.
you have to touch that level.
Exactly.
Leave everything
You
and
need to completely surrender.
any stories, any examples of people who have done that and Narasimha gave that protection. Do you all know the story of Tukaram? The Saint Tukaram? Who was so dependent, he was, if you see, there's a black and white movie made on Tukaram in 1930. It actually won the Cannes Film Festival. It's made in Marathi, and the actor, he acted so well, he took sannyas out of that movie. He got so involved in that role. He became, it's a true story. If you see that movie, it's so touching. But Tukaram was like this kind of character. He would not do a job. One day he gets a job. He gets a job of, you go to the fields. Like he was, materially speaking, people didn't understand at that time. When a great person is alive, you can't understand. So they used to think he doesn't care for his family, he doesn't care for his children, but everything would come to him because of Pandura, because of his relation with Krishna. That's why they Pandura. So one day, finally, his wife doesn't get a job, useless. Whole day you just sing this, and she, in a very loving or chastising way, she would sing. You just sing this black man's songs every day, Krishna, because he is black. You just sing this in Marathi. It sounds very sweet. Like this black person's thing you're singing all day. Go get a job. Finally, he says okay, and then he goes to his neighbor who's a wealthy person. The neighbor says fine, and the neighbor is very compassionate towards Tukaram. Knowing he's a great devotee, he says, okay, Tukaram, all you do is just go to the field, take the stick, and when the birds come, just once, it'll take you like nothing, and you can just sit there and do your singing, do your chanting, you be what you want, and I'll give you a lot of salary. Just do this. Your wife wants a job. So Tukaram said, that's okay, very nice. So he went inside and he starts singing. First few birds comes, he removes. Next few birds come. But he goes into trance and he starts making beautiful prayer poetry. And now he goes into trance, and he doesn't realize that the neighboring person's goats, cows, bulls start coming and grazing on the field here. And he's so much in trance, such big animals he can't see them, and they finish the entire crop. And then the owner comes running and shakes him, and then he comes out of his trance and he says, and now the neighbor gets angry. He says, Tukaram, I just told you one thing. I told you just take, and look at what's happened. My whole field is destroyed, everything, and I wanted to help you, and I'm so sad. And Tukaram feels really bad. He doesn't know what to do, and this man is saying, now this year, how will I survive? My whole crop is destroyed. Nothing's going to happen, and there's a big this, and the wife, Tukaram goes home, and the wife again scolds him. I knew you would not do. You're useless. You're this. You're that. And a few days later is harvest season, and this farmer is like, nothing is going to happen. What am I going to get? And every year I get 50 sacks of grain, but this year I won't even get 5 sacks and everything. So the harvest season comes. Tukaram is at home, and the farmer goes to the land and he starts, and just 5 sacks come like that. They start bringing the sacks, and when they keep the sacks, and I think they bring the thing in a cart. They bring the grain in a cart, and they're going to make the sacks. And as they start making the sacks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, cart doesn't get over. And then he realizes, runs to Tukaram and he falls at his feet. He says, I'm so sorry. And realize, and now you take all this. And now Tukaram has 500 sacks of grain. And just look, now his wife gets very excited. She says, finally I'm going to buy some gold which I never had, new sari, this, that. But Tukaram is such a compassionate person, he tells the whole village, come, take so much grain, I have extra. And they all come. And again his wife tells, Are you fool, why are you giving it? So his whole life was like that. But, rightly to your point, if someone is at that level, then 100% we can sit right here and he's arranged everything. But when we humbly accept our true position, which is not. So considering our position, then should we make health insurance and financial planning, even though it's not going to protect us? Then why? Then what is the logic?
It has to
We
be
have
higher.
to do because this is the special rules and regulation of the state or country or whatsoever. See, in India it is not compulsory for the insurance, but
Okay.
here it is a compulsory.
Okay, but what is the spiritual view? What would be a spiritual angle to this?
We should do a karma and then the result. If it has to, it will, otherwise it may not. But
Okay.
the karma should be done. It cannot be foreseen.
Okay.
And then whatever intelligence God has given you, you use it.
Yes. The spiritual angle is that who has given us all these resources? Krishna has given. In a sense, he's already given you resources to protect. He has given. He's given you intelligence. He's given you facility. He's given you whatever he's given you is part of his protection plan. So it will be foolish to say that I don't make any plan, Krishna will protect me. Or it will be foolish to expect protection from Krishna without doing our best. Because even our best is part of Krishna's plan. Is that understandable?
Yes.
Who's given it to us? That means Krishna's kind of already made everything for us. Like I'll tell you a very simple story. It's a Christian story. There's one flood came one day, and one husband and wife, they are sitting in the home, and flood is coming and coming and coming. And then the husband tells the wife, let's go. Husband says, God will protect us. So a few minutes later, the police come in boats and they say, come, we have a spare boat. So, God will protect us. You go ahead. Police go ahead. Now the flood level starts rising. Some time later, now the flood has gone so much. Now just few rafts are left and people are making, and they come, they say, come, now you're going to die, there's nothing left. God will protect us. So again they go, now the water level rises so much, the husband and wife almost still here. The wife is like, where is the God? He says, God will protect us. Have faith. And he's a very devout person. Finally a helicopter comes. Says, last, there's no more rescue coming, come. And the person says, no, God will protect us. Finally he drowns and dies. He goes to heaven and he says, God, I gave you my whole life. I had so much faith and trust in you, I had full surrender to you. But you didn't come. What do you think God will think?
I was the one who sent all those.
He said, I first sent you the police, then I sent you the person, then I sent you the helicopter. You're not taking, what will I do? This is a very practical thing. Krishna appearing in our life doesn't necessarily mean that he has to come out of a pillar. It is Krishna only who is coming to protect us from all the things which are happening in our life. And that is one great lesson from Prahlad's life you have to understand. See, Prahlad didn't just have faith when Krishna came out of the pillar. He has been tortured so much throughout his life. He was being tortured, correct? So much torture. At that time, nobody came to physically protect him. It was no avatar appearing. He could have died any time. But he didn't do something or the other used to keep happening. Holika sat with him in the fire, but she died. He was fed poison. Somehow he got protected. He did. So in our life, we have to 100% know and be convinced that whatever is helping us is Krishna. Is this, does it become difficult to understand that, or is it acceptable? This point, is it acceptable that okay, whatever is happening in my life, whatever help I'm getting, it may not feel like Krishna is coming, but just like this story, Krishna through all the facility of this world and everything, it is himself who is helping us. right? So already there is so much protection, already there is, so that financial planning, that ensures the securities we build in our life are already part of Krishna's plan, and we have to do our best because that is Krishna's help to us. And then there will be situations where we can't do more, and that will be our surrender. Then our, in a sense, our devotional surrender will be asked for, will be tested at that time. And do we trust Krishna that Krishna will protect us, will save us? Okay. So this whole thing happens, and Hiranyakashipu now becomes extremely powerful, and he's tormenting the whole universe, and he sits on the throne of Indra. Actually, he goes and sits on the throne of Indra. He's conquered all the demigods, demons, everybody, but still, very interestingly, he is not satisfied. It's saying no internet. Any idea which? So this Bhagavatam, almost half a chapter describes how Hiranyakashipu was so powerful. He became so controlling and he just wanted more and more. But he said, in spite of achieving the power to control in all directions, everything was his now. There is nothing more left to conquer. Nobody else to subjugate, nothing else. He's on top. In spite of all of this, and in spite of enjoying all types of sense gratification as much as possible. So much he had. What do you think such a person would be? Would such a person finally be happy? And finally be, there's nothing left to do. You can do what you want, you can do where you want, you can do, like I was reading in one news article, that one billionaire very recently wanted to take a vacation. So he took two multi-million-dollar yachts to somewhere in Sweden. Then two private helicopters took him up to the ski slope. And for 7 or 8 minutes, he just came down the ski slope and came back. And I was thinking, wow, yeah, we like this now. Go on a private yacht and do this, do that. But, and that's the hope in the material world. And that's what is advertised and that's what is. But the reality is, in spite of achieving all power, in spite of achieving all sense gratification, Hiranyakashipu was dissatisfied because instead of controlling his senses, he remained their servant. This is a very interesting science. This is a little difficult to understand unless only by experience this sentence can be understood. Only by realization. This sentence it doesn't make logical sense. The world is meant for enjoyment. How can you say that by enjoying my senses I will be less happy than by controlling them? Because sense control is not pleasurable. Who wants to? Sense control means get up early in the morning, eat only healthy foods, do some spiritual things, don't have bad habits, speak the truth, all this. How can someone claim that is more happy than get up when you want, spend as much as you want, drink, go party, be merry, go on a drive, go this, eat whatever you want, do whatever you want? Doesn't that sound like the real life? This can only be understood by experience, and that is one thing we have to know about spiritual truths. That spiritual truths, some of them we cannot logically understand them, and we may get stuck at trying to logically accept something and say that I won't accept this or apply this till I understand it. It's not possible. That's why spirituality, when Prabhupada was asked so many times, he said, Bhakti can't, of course it can be explained, but in a certain context, he's saying, I can't explain Bhakti. You try it, he used to say, come, the temple is open. When people used to ask him, Prabhupada, how did you convert all these hippies into happiness? And Prabhupada would say, oh, Kirtan, Prasad, and this. It sounds very simple. So the reporters would get confused, but, and what else, Swamiji? And he would say nothing, they had prasad, they came to the temple, they did service, their life is changed. Yes, Swamiji, and what did you tell them? How did you motivate them? I gave them prasad, they did service, they do chanting Hare Krishna. But Swamiji, what was the secret behind yours? And then he said, you will not understand till you come. You do it one day and you will know what it is. And so, the truths of bhakti, the truths in our spiritual life, when we hear, when we want to grow in our bhaktis, it's not possible intellectually. It's not possible just to understand, and unless you apply it, which takes, that's a little step. That step we have to take. That little effort we have to make to really apply something, and then it will make sense. Then you will get it. Just like this sentence, like this shloka, in spite of achieving all power, in spite of achieving all sense gratification, Hiranyakashipu was dissatisfied. It's not easy to accept. Here we may accept it in the shloka. When I read this article, I felt, my life should be like this. Why am I not a billionaire? It's not easy to accept. You think when we see the enjoyment in the world, we see A dissatisfied, A dissatisfied. No. We feel, no, I also want. It's not easy to understand this concept. But to the degree we apply it in our life, and even a little bit, we get a little experience, or we get a clear realization of that. That's called spiritual realization. That was spirituality. It happens through realization. Okay. It's 5:15, and we had like maybe 3 more hours left, so maybe we will. But anyway, the intention was not to go through the whole pastime, but wherever the Krishna's pastimes are like a cake. Wherever we eat from, it's going to be tasty. It's not that you eat the whole cake only, then you're satisfied. So we had some part of this wonderful Narasimha Chaturdashi cake, and there were so many interesting exercises and all, but I think I didn't plan my time properly. Okay, so let's just do some fun exercises here. If you see in your sheet, if you go to match the following, let's see if you can give these answers. You're back in school. You have to raise your hands, and is it already matched?
Yeah. Yes.
Question paper error. Best time for the students, right? This used to happen in school sometimes. And then there used to be
You
those.
need to fill in the blanks.
Okay, fill in the blanks. Lord Narasimha appeared from yes, the Lord Narasimha's father. So which pillar did Lord Narasimha appear in? My question is now imagine Hiranyakashipu is standing. There are many pillars. He's standing, suppose, in this place. Hey, Prahlad says he's everywhere. And Hiranyakashipu says, is he in this pillar? So, do you think Narasimha only came in this pillar?
No. He's
Isn't
everywhere.
every?
Yes. It's described that when yes, when Prahlad said that he's everywhere, immediately Narasimha had to appear everywhere. He didn't know what Hiranyakashipu was going to say. So then he said his pillar. Okay. Second, Prahlad's greatest fear was, okay, this is a good question. Prahlad's greatest fear was
Krishna
Maybe he
Narasimha will kill my
his
father.
huh?
He may kill my father, like
No.
Hiranyakashipu.
Narasimha will kill my father.
Yeah.
Okay, pre-Narasimha, like before, what was his greatest fear in his life?
He may
Being
get
killed by Hiranyakashipu?
No.
No, that we know he wasn't. So what was his fear? He also had fear,
he may
but a very spiritual fear.
he may get divided
Yes.
by bhakti.
He was afraid that at some point he might fail in his bhakti.
Yes, very true. That was his only fear. And that's the kind of person. Do we have that fear? At least I don't. That's the last thing on my mind. Right? Who can? Bhakti to aate rahega. Aaj ye mandir kar jayenge. But for Prahlad, that's the only thing in his life. The fear that I don't lose my devotion to Lord Narasimha. Through all the fear that in any way I shouldn't become too proud that Narasimha came for me and lose my devotion. I shouldn't become so. His greatest fear was the loss of his devotion. Okay. Third one. Krishna protects not the body but the
Soul, spirit, soul.
but the soul is eternal.
But the
What do you
dharma.
protect?
The dharma.
The
Dharma.
Bhakti.
Dharma means
Devotion.
so bhakti.
Devotion. Or
Path to the spiritual world. That protects.
Spiritual
Yes,
compass.
that's a good point. He protects the soul's journey. Ultimately, what he's trying to protect is, see again, he has said Janma Mriti Jaradi is going to happen. It's not a big, one is it is going to happen, and that's not a very great protection. It is a very great protection, of course. If someone, and in the Bhagavatam we have stories throughout where Uttara prayed for protection from Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu got protected. So many people prayed and they got protected. Gajendra got protected, and so many got protected. Some of them didn't get protected. Bhishma they prayed, but still he had to die on the arrows. Abhimanyu, who was killed on the battlefield. So there are so many stories where they prayed, but their journey back to Godhead was preserved. That is the protection we need. That's the protection we should hope for. And if on that journey other things need to be protected, then Krishna will do that. If there is a certain disease, a certain situation, a certain upheaval in our life which we need protection to protect our journey, Krishna may do that. Or sometimes Krishna doesn't happen. Sometimes Krishna can do it also, just out of compassion. And he's not very calculative all the time. It's not like that. Sometimes he may just give. He's a person, and we all have a personal relationship with Krishna, which we can always. Okay, fourth one. Sorry, I'm going over time.
no. You can continue. Complete.
Okay, I'll just complete. Fourth one. Prahlad prayed for the dash of his father.
Liberation of his father.
Yes, can you imagine? Okay, there was one question. Okay, let's do this. If you go to self-reflection exercises, see question number 3. Just think about this. It's a very interesting question. In your life, who is the Hiranyakashipu in your life? And can you pray for him like we all have a Hiranyakashipu in our life, who's really wrong, either wrongdoing to us somehow or the other, or not. So all of us has somehow, someone or the other, or a few more. Many people in our life are some Hiranyakashipus. But usually it's difficult to pray for our Hiranyakashipu. It's not easy to really heartfully pray for their welfare, for their well-being, for their. In fact, in our life, if something happens to our Hiranyakashipu, we feel yes. Finally, got the lesson correct. Someone we don't like, something bad happens, we feel a personal victory. But what was Prahlad's quality? He prayed. The person is trying to murder him and kill him. Heartfully he prayed for him. He didn't even have a slight, anger or any kind of negative emotion towards it. It's very difficult. So take one moment to make a prayer for your Hiranyakashipu. Just genuinely pray for their welfare, pray for their well-being. And also just to clarify, it's not that when there is injustice, Krishna is the upholder of justice. So by saying pray for Hiranyakashipu, it does not mean to put you in a position of weakness, a position of acceptance. If there is injustice, you have every right for justice. However, the heart is full of compassion. See, when Narasimha killed Hiranyakashipu, you know what Prahlad said? He said the great souls kill snakes because snakes are venomous, and so he was very objective in his reality. He didn't come emotionally, don't kill him, my father. He didn't get, so he's not emotionally blind. He's not a material level compassion. He had a very spiritual compassion towards the soul of his father. But externally, he was very objective. He's a king's son. He also is very wise in the matters of, he's going to become the next king. He said, good, you killed him because he's not good for the world. So he said that, but at the same time he said, please grant him liberation. Okay, you killed him, that's the right thing to do, but his heartfelt prayer, and without any personal agenda behind it. Not that good you killed him because he did this to me. Prahlad never spoke his name in relation to him and people's killings. He only said, in fact he says a lot that now there will be freedom to the demigod, there's peace on earth, there's this, thank you for doing what you should do. At the same time, please liberate him. So same way for our Hiranyakashipu, what we are trying to say is at our internal level, we shouldn't hate anyone. We shouldn't be envious of anyone. We shouldn't, although someone is doing wrong to us, on a practical level, we can have every right to take the necessary steps for self-defense, for justice, for right thing, and make sure it happens that we should do. We are not expected to be cowards. But internally, the inner heart mood is that's the soul. That's ultimately also a pure living being. And may that living being find peace and happiness and connection to Krishna. External situations should be taken care of. Okay. The fifth one. Real protection is dash in Krishna.
Faith.
Faith in Krishna.
Very nice. Yes. All these words. Okay. Faith, true. Shelter in Krishna, true. Right? That's real protection. Because in all our lives, there will be times when Krishna will hear our prayers and we will feel, thank you, Krishna. But there will be times where we will feel, apparently, Krishna did help and is going to test our faith. And Krishna, I served you so much, but to see what you did to me or my family or my loved ones or something, that will test our faith. That why Krishna? Right? Like, imagine the position of Queen Kunti. Just tell me when to stop now. Otherwise, I don't want to delay the flow, right? So you can imagine the position of Queen Kunti. What she saw in her life was only struggle and hardship. She had the most miserable life. And imagine with Krishna in front of you, at least for us, Krishna is still deity. Krishna is still father. We can't talk. She must have discussed every day, "Arey, kuch kar." You do something. That's never her mood. She never. That's why her name appears in the Bhagavatam. The prayers of Queen Kunti, very beautiful. Okay. Multiple choice. Who taught Prahlad in the womb? Narada. What did Prahlad ask the Lord for?
Nothing.
Yes, that's true. And that even more makes Narasimha emotional. So ask for something, how can you ask for a third one? Why did Narasimha appear from the pillar? Okay, this is interesting.
To prove Prahlad's words.
Okay, who's going for answer D? D for now. D. Because fire wouldn't work. No. Answer C, it was symbolic. No. Who says it's answer B, to prove Prahlad's words? And answer A is to surprise Hiranyakashipu. Right?
No
Because
surprise.
No surprise in the sense that he made that law which that big agreement he made with Brahma, he had to find a loophole. So it was surprise for him. So what is the real reason? Okay, so let me put it more simply. Was it to kill Hiranyakashipu or to keep Prahlad's word?
Prahlad's words.
How are you saying that?
Devotee.
Priority
Devotee is
Priority is
to protect the devotee.
Priority is to protect the devotee. Okay. Yes, that's very true. Let's end with this last shloka I'll show you. It's a very beautiful shloka which describes why.
Which sloka?
This is
7.9.6. It's on the top left.
7, 8, 17.
8, 17.
7, 8, 17. Okay, let's recite this together. Can you see it yet?
It's covered.
No, bro, it's God, but yeah,
But you got it
seven.
also?
Yeah, 4.
Satyam vidhatum nijabhritya bhashitam
Satyam vidatum nijapratyaભાષિતम्
vyaptim cha bhuteshu kileshu chatmanah
व्याप्तिं च भूतेषु अखिलेषु चात्मनः
adrishyatyadyadbhutarupamudvaham sthambe sabhayam namrigam namanusham.
स्तम्भे सभायां नमृतं नामानुषम्.
So this is the introduction of Narasimha in the Bhagavatam. He says, Satyam vidhatum nijabhritya bhashitam, just to keep the word of Prahlad. Narasimha didn't really have to take all this form and come and make this great show of killing. He could have just killed Hiranyakashipu any other way. Right? So many demons are dying all over the world anyway. Heart attack and this and that. Why did Narasimha himself? But because Prahlad said, my Lord is everywhere. Hiranyakashipu said, challenge was, Hiranyakashipu took out his sword, said, before I kill you, I'll first kill your Vishnu. Where is your Vishnu? Prahlad said everywhere. He said, is he in this pillar? Now Narasimha had to come. Vyaptim cha bhuteshu akhileshu chatman adrishyatadbhuta. It was a form which had never been seen before. Adbhuta rupam udvahan stambhe namrigam namanusham. And it was half not man, not lion. And so it was this beautiful form. Jai Shri Shri Narasimha Dev Bhagwan ki
Jai.
Shri Prahlad Maharaj